Hi friends, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. I'm starting this video off in a little bit of a different way. So although I'm releasing this video in May of 26, I was away this winter for 6 weeks in Savannah, Georgia, and South Carolina, and my intent while I was gone was to be very creative. So I decided to create a couple journals and to pack an art box that would allow me the flexibility to be creative while being away from my studio for an extended amount of time. I think this is something that creative people often desire and talk about, bringing their art on the road. And this was my first real attempt to do that. So in today's video, I'm going to show you my art box, what I put in it, and I hope you'll find it interesting, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about being artistic on the road. And I will do a follow-up video after this about whether or not I was successful. But for now, let's jump in and see what I packed for my extended time on the road. So let's jump into the video that I made for you back in February. I am on a 1 month sabbatical or 1 month trip to Savannah, Georgia. It's the first time I have ever gone anywhere for this amount of time. My husband and I wanted to get out of New Hampshire winter this year, and we decided to go for the whole month of February. This is what I see today. It's chilly here, but it's not too bad. It's 40 degrees, which is a lot better than New Hampshire, which is -17 today. So I thought I would do a video on my traveling art kit. I think a lot of us talk about the idea of traveling with art, and I decided to put an art kit together a while back. I kept it set up in my closet, and I just took it out before the trip and redid it a little bit, and I thought you might want to see what I included to bring down here so I can do art on the go. So first of all, let me tell you about this box. It's something I found, I believe, at like an estate sale. I don't know what it was used for, but I believe it's either like a roller skating for roller skates, like a roller skating box for old roller skates, or it's like a box for an instrument. I find a lot of instrument boxes at estate sales all the time. Usually they're lined with velvet, so that's why I'm not sure that that's what this one is. And I could be wrong. It might not be for either one of those things, but there are similar boxes like this that you can find at estate sales relatively cheap. They're hard, they got great handles, they're sturdy and latches, and they usually have like little organizers somewhere in there if it was a instrument for like reeds and things. And my idea is that I will buy stickers or get stickers and vinyl stickers from different places I travel, and I will put them on the box like they used to do with old suitcases. So I have to hold my camera because I forgot to bring a tripod. So I'll try not to be too jittery, but let's see what we can find. So first of all, they had these little elastic straps, and I wanted to include a couple pair of reader glasses. I have a white Sakura pen. I brought one of my 2026 zines about my, what my goals for 2026 is, just to remind me. I have some wire cutters and some needle nose pliers because I think I want to put some charms on the books I created, some fussy cut scissors, some brushes, and this is just some extra paper I had. It's really no big deal. So let's dig into the box. First of all, these are the 2 journals that I created for this trip, and one of them is a junk journal that I put together before I left with like the vibe I want for my travels this year. I put in lots of papers, a lot of vintage papers, a lot of pockets, but I left it pretty nude, pretty blank, because I want to be able to collage in it. I want to be able to write in it. This is not going to be like it's going to be a little bit of a scrapbook, but I want to do a lot of writing in it. So I've put little things in tuck spots and different places so that I am set up for writing and doing things. I have a couple of ball pens with a charm on it that I can add some charms or things I find along the way to it. Because this is my lover's eye kit and I made like a lover's eye in the front, I did do a theme of eyes throughout the journal, just something that I kind of love. And like I said, it's just full of a lot of mixed papers and you know, just little bits and pieces of ephemera, all themed in the color pattern that I want, kind of neutral. I used an old Audubon book jacket for one of the pages. So this is that journal. And then this journal is a concertina journal. And I thought what I would do with the concertina journal is play around a little bit more with collage in watercolor. Again, it's a lover's eye in the front, and then it's just watercolor mixed media paper. I think this is watercolor paper, but not the heaviest kind. And I figured out I had like 30 pages, which is going to be more than enough because concertina comes out straight, right? So you're going to be able to just do consistent journaling. So those are my two journals. And then everything in here will go along with that. So I have a pencil case, and it's going to be struggling to open it. So I'm going to, oh, no, it's open. Okay. So inside I have an eraser, a variety of sketch pencils. I have some regular scissors. I have the Tim Holtz Pokey tool, which you can use as an awl. So I figure I can use that if I need that. I have this little tool, it's like a really safe bladed X-Acto knife. I figured I would just use it for like cutting book pages. I was hoping to find a vintage book from the South that I could cut up, but there really aren't any. I did find an antiquarian bookstore, but the books were very expensive, and she will not sell you a book if she knows you're going to cut it up. So I have to find something that's more like a flea market or a thrift store. So a variety of black pens, micron pens, pencils, etc. Then what do I have here? This is just some bits and pieces, collage pieces that I thought I would have because Valentine's Day will be happening while I'm down here. Some of this is a little Valentine's Day. I brought some of these plastic envelopes because I've already started getting tourist information flyers and cutting out and fussy cutting things out of there, and I'll put those inside of those envelopes. This is a cigar box, and in the cigar box, I've just put lots of scrap ephemera and pieces. Just things that I used, offcuts from these two journals, but also a lot of papers and things, labels that I can glue and use within this journal, the junk journal, when I'm writing and journaling. So this is just a curated box of ephemera and scraps. That over there. This was just a vintage key thing. I don't know why I have that. Probably just got stuck in there. Okay, then I made these with my cinch machine. They're just strips of paper that I can use for journaling. It's almost like a way if I went to, let's say I wanted to journal in this book at a coffee shop and I didn't want to bring that whole box of ephemera, I could just bring this and a glue stick and rip out a piece of paper and then work in here. So then over here I have this little corner box, and in this corner box is sort of my messy things. I have a big glue stick. I have a variety of different types of glues and glue sticks. This I got from the dollar store. It is Fabri-Tac, I think. Well, not Fabri-Tac because it's kind of, I think it's more like a tacky glue, but I liked the size. I figure, you know what, it'll work for paper. I have a little spray bottle. I have a little tiny real bottle of Fabri-Tac. I have a watercolor brush, more glue sticks. And then in here, this is going to be hard for me to open without a tripod. I have these little tiny jars that I got, like they're condiment jars. And I have one for gesso, one for clear gesso, and one for matte medium. Now notice that I put the color of the lid with the different mediums I have, and that is because they're all look alike. And if I take the two of the tops off, I might not remember what is what, which is which. So this way, by putting the different colors on it, I make sure that they're always identified properly, and that they always, you know, they stay good, they're identified properly, and I know what they are. Just some scraps that fell in there, and then this just organizes it. I also have a paper glue that I found at Target. And then in here, I just have some more papers that I stuck in there. Now this is the fun cigar box. Ooh, making a mess. This cigar box I created my last trip, and it is sort of like a mini travel kit if I didn't want to take this big one. And inside here, I have these match boxes that inside each have like different stamps and labels, little tiny things that I can do, and I can find little tiny like bits and bobs that I can glue in. I found this at, I don't know, one of the cheap, I don't think it was at the dollar store. I think it was like in one of the cheap parts of like a craft store, and it's made for pictures, but I thought it was a great little organizer for ephemera. So I have my little stamped out circles. I have little bits and bobs. I have some black die cuts. I have some pictures. I have some stamps, some labels. It's a great way to bring ephemera on the go. So we'll put that there. And then in here, I have some more fussy cut scissors. I have some washi tape, double-sided tape. Oh, I have to show you that in a minute. This is one of those ink. This is one of those ink erasers. I had to bring my vintage photo ink, of course, a little tiny stapler with staples. This has little metal bits and bobs in it, charms and pieces of threads and things. And then this is ball pins, safety pins, clips. This little matchbox. This is little cuts of hearts. And then in here, I have this vintage tin, and inside I have buttons and things like that. My husband bought me these for Christmas. They are the tiniest little scissors that you can ever see. They are the cutest little thing. And I haven't really used them yet, so I'll have to let you know how they work. And then under that, I have a bunch of other metal bits and bobs. I included two very big of these paper clips because I use these and a pinch to hold down the pages when I'm binding something. So let's say I want to make a little tiny binded book. And I found these little, they used to be, I think, used for coupons, but it's got a blade in it. Isn't that great? So this kit is really like all the fun stuff, right? And then inside, some more papers as I was going around. I did do a bunch of stamping with those eyes and some other little bits that I got from some Happy Mails, and I figured I would include this in the box. And I have some envelopes and just some other miscellaneous papers. And then I found these. It says it's a sticker, but it's really like these. It's like little sheets of stickers, but they're like washi tape. So they're already pre-cut, and you just peel them. I've had them forever. I don't use them a lot, but they're great. They're great for traveling. I think I got these from my cousin Sue because she always sends me great things like this. And then, like I have a sticker sheet here that looks like washi tape as well. And the final major thing in my kit is this little praying half pan watercolor set. It's nothing fancy, but I will use it hopefully in my concertina, and I can use it as a replacement for some of those dyes and inks that we usually bring. Will they be as lasting as those? Probably not, but in a pinch, I think this is going to be great. We shall see. So as you can see, look at all this stuff on the table that all fit in the kit. There is more than I need to do collage work, to work in my journal. I thought maybe I might even have time to get some postcards and send out some snail mail and decorate the snail mail. I'm not gonna kid you. I have been here for 10 days and I've done very little. I always think I'm going to have all this time to do art when I'm somewhere else, and then I'm just out in the world doing something else. So we'll see if I can actually sit down and get some serious art done while I'm down here for a month. So far we've been settling in and I haven't, but I'll do a little update at the end and let you know how it went. But look at all of these things that fit into this one tiny box. It's easily stackable in the back of my car. I don't think I could possibly need anything more than this. I do have a metal ruler that made it out of the box already because I have been ripping up paper. I will say that. I've been ripping up paper, fussy cutting and sorting at night. And so those two things have made it out. But very inexpensive. The cigar box I got for $1 at the cigar store. I made my journals. A lot of these things I just found in my craft room. I think I spent $5 on the box. So this is something that you can create very inexpensively. And my goal is when I get home, the only things I'll take out of here are those two journals and maybe a little bit of the ephemera that I made for those journals. Other than that, I will keep this put together and ready to go for the next trip. So that is my on-the-go art kit. Thank you so much for watching the video today. I hope you got a little out of that. And I'm sure the question you have on your mind is, was I successful? Did I create on the road? Well, the next video, I'll tackle that subject. I'll be completely honest with what I did and didn't do and show you the result. Thanks again, and I'll see you really soon in the next video.